Hey guys, Linda here. Welcome back to Adore. I hope everyone's having a fantastic day today. Happy last day of March. Yeah, it's March 31st. We're at the end of March. So I wanted to come on here and do a wrap up of my March Mystery Madness TBR. Let you know what I read and what I enjoyed. I enjoyed most of them. I think I only had one 3.5 star book. So let's get started. First up, I have Deep Tide by Laura Griffin. Really enjoyed this. I gave it a was going to give it a 4 star, but then something happened here and I was like, no. So I just gave this 3.5 stars. This is going to be set in if you like a small town romance, because it's set in a small beach town. We got an FBI agent who's undercover, kind of like undercover in this town. He's on a secret mission. He ends up going to this wedding where he meets the female character. She owns her own little coffee shop slash cupcake selling or cake selling. She be sandwiches selling. She be doing a lot of selling. She sells a whole bunch of different stuff in this shop. And she ends up, her and Sean meet at her brother's wedding, because she ends up catering her brother's wedding. That's how it started out. She's at a wedding and the wedding cake isn't there yet. So she has to end up going back to her shop to pick up this wedding cake, because one of her employees who was supposed to deliver the cake is nowhere to be found. She hasn't called in, she's missing, or they don't know where she is. So the female character ends up going back to her shop, picking up this wedding cake and taking it back to the wedding venue. And that's where she ends up meeting Sean, who helps her get the cake out of the car. And that's how they first meet. And then they meet again on the beach. I guess, like I said, this is a beach town. I guess the beach is not too far from the church. And that's where the female character ends up going, sitting down and relaxing after the wedding, after the stressful wedding, because they almost had a dire situation, because the wedding cake wasn't there yet. So she's taking her after the wedding. She's having a little cool down, sitting at the beach drinking, and Sean sees her there. He goes out there and talks to her. So that's another scene where they meet at. And the mystery is going to be when she goes to work the next day. She ends up taking the trash out, and she finds the girl who was supposed to deliver the cake. She has been murdered. And it's going to go from there. It had a lot of coincidence in here, because the mission that Sean is on, like I said, he came to this little small town for a wedding, and I was like, and this also happened to be where he's supposed to do his little mission at too. I was like, okay. Then the murder ends up having to do, and then he think that the murder had something to do with his mission too. I was like, all these coincidences going on together. That was kind of like getting on my nerve. It was too much stuff, coincidence happening, and I was like, would this really happen? I don't know, maybe it would, but it was egging me. It was getting on my nerve. So I just gave this 3.5 stars. I enjoyed it. I didn't want to put it down. It wasn't one of those books that I could put down and come back to. No, I wanted to find out what was going to happen. So I would recommend it if that kind of stuff don't bother you. About it's like, I think I mentioned before, when the two main characters meet each other like out somewhere, and then the female is looking for a job, and then she ends up going to this place, and then the guy turned out to be her boss. That gets on my nerve. I don't like that either, but a lot of books do that, where they meet and then they have a run in, and they don't like each other, and then he ends up being her boss. Yeah, yeah. So we had a lot of coincidence going on in here that I was like, I don't know. So I just gave this a 3.5 stars. I still would recommend it, because Laura Griffin, she's an excellent writer, and this is Deep Tide, and this is book 4, I think, in the Texas Murder Files. This is book 4. I haven't read any of the other books in this, and I think I'll go back and read it. It's just 3 books. I'm only behind 3 books. So the first book is Hidden, the second book is Flight, and the third book is Midnight Doom. So I might go back and see, can I find those books. I might get them from the library and check them out and see how I like them. Deep Tide by Laura Griffin. I gave it a 3.5 star. Next, I have Murder on Astor Place. This is by Victoria Thompson. She is a historical romance writer, and I found out that she was doing like murder mystery books. And these are set in historical time. I think this set back in the 1800s. And Guys, I really, really enjoyed this. I think I mentioned this here in a couple of videos. I'm really enjoying this series. I'm on book number 4. Because I got all off the, I think I just had 2 of her books in this series on my TBR. But when I read this first book, I was like, I got to go find the rest of these because I'm really enjoying this. And this is on Frank Malloy and Sarah Brent. Both of the main characters are widows because Sarah lost her husband. He was killed. And she never found out who killed him. And then Frank is a police officer. I think he's a detective or a sergeant on the police force. And his wife ended up dying in childbirth. And Frank has a little son. Frank has a son. Sarah don't have any kid. And they end up meeting in this first book is when Sarah goes to a boarding house. She's a midwife. She goes there. She's helping this woman deliver a baby. So when she goes back the next day to check on the mother and the baby, she can't get in because there are policemen all around the place. And she still try to get in, and the guy tell her she needs to talk to the guy in charge. And of course, you know it's going to be Frank Malloy. And she ends up having to talk to Frank to get in to see the mother and the baby because she finds out that a girl that she had met when she was helping the mother deliver her baby, she had met the girl that night. The young girl ends up getting killed. One of the boarders who live in this place where Sarah had went to help one of the, I think the lady who she helped deliver the baby, I think she owns the place. And she had met that young girl there that night. Come to find out the next day when Sarah goes back to see the mother and the baby, that young girl that she had met that night, it ends up being killed. And so that's why the cops are there. And that's where Sarah meets Frank. And let's say they bump heads because Frank don't like midwife because he blames a midwife for his wife passing away. And so they bump heads, but they end up working together in this book trying to find out what happened to this young girl because they find out that the young girl is also, when she was killed, she was pregnant. So they end up working together to try to find out who killed this girl. So, and this is a very slow burn because this is over 26 books in this series. I think she got another book coming out in April, I think, of this month in this series. I don't know how long this series is going to be, but I'm going to try to read every one of these books because I'm really enjoying them so far. And like I said, I got off my TBR because when I read this, well, I had the first book. This is the first book in the series, and this is the Gaslight mystery series. This is the first book. So I did have the second book, so I went ahead and read. I put the second book on my TBR, so I went ahead and read the second book, which was Murder on St. Mark's Place. And this one was about her, Sarah and Frank. What was this one about? Sarah ends up going to one of her clients to check on one of her, a pregnant mother at another boarding house, and she ends up, and there's a bunch of people, not cops, but her neighbors, you know, back in them days when you live in tenant, I guess you call them tenant or apartments or whatever you call them, but everybody knew each other. And so all these people were outside of the lady's apartment, and Sarah was like, what is going on? And that's when she found out that the woman that she's going to see, her sister has been killed. So there's going to be the murder in here. Sarah and Frank are going to try to find out what happened to this woman's sister. And this was really entertaining. I really, really enjoyed this one. I gave this a 4-star. And like I said, it's going to be a slow burn between her and Frank. They're just still getting to know each other in this book. They're still getting to know each other. And I think Sarah finally, I think Sarah ends up going, no, in this one, in the end of this one, I think Frank get hurt. So, and then in this one, Sarah ends up going, because she haven't seen Frank in a while. So she ends up going, I don't know if she went in this one of the books, she ends up going to Frank's place to see how he's doing because he didn't stay at the hospital. So Sarah ends up going to his home, and that's where Sarah meets his mother. And let's just say his mother don't like Sarah coming over there. And his mother called him Frank because his name is Francis, but yeah, he don't want to go by that. He go by Frank. So in this one, I really, really enjoyed it. And I don't know if I mentioned I gave this 4 stars, and I also gave this one 4 stars. And this is Murder on St. Mark's Place by Victoria Thompson, book number 2 in the Gaslight mystery. So when I read the first and second book and I really, really enjoyed them, I went to the website, the library website, and just started ordering the whole series. Well, most of them. I think I ordered 12 books off the series. I was like, let me read these 12 before I try to get any more. So the third book, I got the third book in the series, Murder on Gramercy Park. And then this one, what happened in this one? I think Frank sent a message to Sarah for her to come to this place where he's at, because a husband has been murdered, and the husband's wife is pregnant, and the wife found the husband's body, and she was really upset. So Frank sent for Sarah to come and see about the wife because she is pregnant, and so that'll be the murder mystery. And this one, finding out who killed this woman's husband. And this one right here, it was a lot of suspects in this one. I was like, and I think I mentioned before, when you read murder mystery, you suspect everybody. I was suspecting everybody. It was a lot of characters in here that could have did it. Really enjoyed this one. This is another one I gave 4 stars. So I'm really, really enjoying this series. I gave this one 4 stars. And then I went on to book 4, because I picked all the books I had requested from the library. They all came in at the same time. So I got book 4 here. And this is Murder on Washington Square. And this is going to be on a murder of a female. She ends up, they end up finding her body in Washington Square. This is and Sarah get involved in this one because her next door neighbor's son knew the female that got killed, and he's been arrested. So Sarah gonna help Frank try to solve this mystery, because she knows the guy's mother. They live next door to each other, and his mother is really upset because she was like, her son would never do anything like that. So Sarah is going to try to help Frank solve this mystery. And this is Murder on Washington Square by Victoria Thompson. Really, really enjoying these. I gave this one 4.5 stars. So I quit reading because I don't have book 5. I know. I was like, what? And I think I mentioned that I got all the books except the library didn't have book 5. So I end up ordering it from Paperback Swap, and it hasn't come yet. So I'm up in the air, because if I had it, I would have kept on reading. But since I didn't have it, I went on to the next 2 books that I had, because I got all off of my Mark Mystery Madness TBR because I only had 2 books in the Gaslight Mystery series. So I had put those 2 books on my TBR. But I enjoyed them so much, I was like, I got to read the rest of this. So that's when I got the books from the library. So I got all off the TBR. I was just reading Gaslight Mystery by Victoria Thompson until I ran out of books. And I don't want to read out of order, because, I don't care about reading out of order. But since Frank and Sarah, it's all about them solving mysteries and all about them getting to know each other, I don't want to skip a book, because I want to see their relationship, how it progressed through each book. And they finally end up in a kiss in book number 4. So I gave that book 4.5 stars. So since I don't have the 5th book in the series, I went back to the TBR and started reading Heels to Protect by Sharon C. Cooper. I'm not going to finish this at the end of March, because today is the end of March. So I'm going to have to continue reading this on into April. I will finish this because I did start it. So I'm going to go ahead and finish the book. I'm on page 19, and where I stopped at, there's a bank robbery going on. So I don't know. I didn't read the back of this. I might have read it earlier, but I don't forgot what it was about. So I'm not going to read the back of it. I'm just going to go into it and read it. And this is Heels to Protect. So I'm going to finish this. I'm going to go ahead and finish this up. But like I said, I probably won't finish it today. Probably end up finishing it tomorrow on April 1st. I'll probably end up finishing, because this only have like 280 some pages. So maybe I will finish today, but I'm not counting on it. I don't know. So I'm just gonna say probably finish it tomorrow. But Heels to Protect, I'm working on that. And then I had one more book on the TBR. I'm not going to read this one. I'm just going to add this to my regular TBR to be read behind my other books, because I need to get to read some of them books. But if that book come in from Paperback Swap by Victoria Thompson come in, that's it. I'm going to read book number 5, and then and all the rest of them I have from the library. So I don't have time to read anything else. I need to go ahead and read my books from the library so I can hurry up and finish those and get them back to the library. And maybe I'll take a break, because sometimes when you read, just keep reading on the same couple or the same situation, you'll burn yourself out. So I'll just probably read that. Then I'll probably pause for a little bit and then go back and put some more books from that series on hold. Because like I said, I only ordered like 12 books. Not ordered, but requested 12 books from the library. And this is a 26 book series. So I'll probably take a break from it unless I just can't. Unless I just have to have some Sarah and Frank. So I'll see how it goes when I finish all those books I got from the library and see, do I want to continue to keep on going or just take a break for a while and then go back and finish up the series. So we'll see. All right, guys, that's all I have for now. I will be coming back to you with my March wrap up with all the books. You'll probably see these books again, but I won't go over them anymore. I'll just hold them up and show them to you. But I've read some other books too that wasn't on my TBR, that books I was looking forward to them coming out. So I got off the TBR and started reading something else. But I did finish a couple of other books too in March that I'm going to do in my March wrap up. But that's all I have for now. I hope you're reading some good books. I hope you've discovered some good books like I discovered the Gaslight Mystery Series. All I can say is I'm just really enjoying that series. So I hope you discovered a good book like I have, or a good series, and you just having a good reading experience, because I'm having a good reading experience right now. And all those books from the Gaslight series, I gave a 4-star, except for that fourth book, which I gave a 4.5 star because Frank and Sarah had a little kissing session there. I was like, okay. I see you, and Sarah and Frank, I see you. And I was like, okay, I got to get this book 4.5 stars. So that's all I have for now. But until next time, keep reading those romances, and I'll see y'all later. Have a great day. Bye-bye.